There isn't conclusive reasoning for Bob Saget's fatal injury, according to an incident report from the Orange County Sheriff's Office. Saget died on January 9 at age 65. He was found dead in his hotel at the Ritz-Carlton in Orlando, Florida, one day after performing a stand-up set in Jacksonville. It was later confirmed that his death was the result of blunt head trauma, and the manner of his death was an accident not tied to any illicit drugs or toxins. The comedian had severe fractures to the back of his head and around his eyes when he died. In the incident report, obtained on Tuesday, an autopsy conducted by Chief Medical Examiner Joshua Stephanie, MD, in January indicated that the amount of force necessary to cause the fracture, coupled with the fact that the skin on the back of the head was still intact, led him to believe that the injury was most likely caused by something hard, covered by something soft. Dr. Stephanie cited a fall onto a carpeted floor as an example of something that could cause such injury. There were no signs of blood on the bedsheets or bedspread, according to the report. Dr. Stephanie stated that the fracture would have stunned Mr. Saget, and, even if the bleeding occurred slowly, Mr. Saget would have noticed symptoms such as dizziness, and there would have signs that were obvious to those around him, such as issues with confusion, balance, and/or slurred speech, the report stated. In a follow-up phone call with Dr. Stephanie on January 11, 2022, I mentioned that Mr. Saget had apparently driven himself back from Jacksonville, Florida, approximately a 2-hour drive. Dr. Stephanie stated flatly that Mr. Saget could not have made any type of extended drive with the injury he sustained, the report detailed. Following the autopsy findings, a re-examination of Saget's room at the Ritz-Carlton was conducted to locate specific places or items in the room that could have caused the trauma found on autopsy. The countertops, tables, nightstands, and other hard furniture in the room all had sharply defined edges and corners and were thought to be unlikely due to the fact that they would have lacerated the skin, the report stated. The counters in the bathroom and the shower stall were ruled out for the same reason. Most of the chairs and couches were thickly upholstered and were too soft to have caused the type and extent of injury Mr. Saget suffered. To stay up to date on the best of what has to offer, from juicy celebrity news to compelling human interest stories. The report added, as mentioned earlier, most of the suite was carpeted. The headboard of the bed was lightly padded and set slightly out from the wall. These are listed here as possible mechanisms of injury, but nothing was located in the room that allows for a definitive conclusion. Dr. Stephanie was also unable to state definitively when Mr. Saget's head wound occurred, but he believed it was probably within hours of his death, possibly within a day or two, depending on several medical factors. But the Full House Allen would have exhibited significant signs that something was wrong, according to the medical examiner. Saget is survived by his wife, Kelly Rizzo, and his 3 daughters, Aubrey, 34, Laura, 32, and Jennifer, 29, he shared with ex-wife Sherry Kramer. On Monday, his family was granted a permanent injunction to block the release of his death investigation records. The legal move comes nearly 1 month after they sued Orange County Sheriff John Mina and the District 9 Medical Examiner's Office to prevent the release of documents tied to Saget's passing. The entire Saget family is grateful that the judge granted their request for an injunction to preserve Bob's dignity, as well as their privacy rights, especially after suffering this unexpected and tragic loss, The Saget family's attorney, Brian Bieber, said in a statement obtained by On Monday. "We are pleased this issue has been resolved, and the healing process can continue to move forward," Bieber's statement concluded. "All of the prayers and well wishes continuously extended to the family are beyond appreciated." Rizzo recently posted a photo in Saget's honor on the 2-month anniversary of his passing. 2 whole months. I've experienced that now time means nothing and everything at the same time. You count the weeks, and the months, they're strange and surreal milestones, she wrote alongside a photo of the pair. How can it be 2 months without you? But also it feels like yesterday you were here and it still also feels like you never left? I like to say it's all a very weird new universe. Learning how to navigate it is quite the journey.